Good morning. It rained last night, which is really good for the tomatoes. There are heaps of blossoms on here now. Look at them all. This is a Dr. Witchy's, and look at all the fruit. This one over here, there's so many. And this one, look at all of these. That's crazy. This is the triple crop. I don't think any have set yet on this one, but there are heaps waiting. So that's really exciting. I planted out the pansies because they really need to be planted out. I can't remember what they're called, but they're a black colour. I grew these ones for my husband. Not that he likes flowers, but I picked black ones because he likes the colour black. And this one over here, my nasturtium, is looking a little bit nearly done. It's set a lot of its flowers, and it's got, like, these are the seeds. Well, I think. I have heard that you can use them, whoops, I popped one off. I have heard that you can use them as a substitute for capers, but I haven't looked that up, so don't take my word for it. But there are heaps of these all over the plant, so I'm going to try and look into that and see if I can do something with it. It's been really pretty having it here. I've still got another one down in the garden, which is cool. I really loved that variety. That was the Milkmaid nasturtium. And some of my seedlings that haven't actually gone out yet. This one needs to be uppotted. This is a Jarvis gem. I think this is more like a shrub. This isn't an edible. And this here, this is a comfrey I got from a friend of mine that I took out of the garden when I was pulling and moving stuff around. So I saved it so I can plant it back in, but I just haven't planted it back in yet. And still some of the other starts as a basil and parsley there. So I know that I look really tired. I feel fine, but it's a Sunday morning and I woke up early, and you know when you don't have to go to work or anything and you just want to get up early? I don't know, I feel like I used to do that as a kid as well. When you get up, you wake up really early on the weekends and you get up and you sneak out of bed to go and play while mum and dad are still sleeping. Well, that's me. My husband's still asleep. Look at the mulberries. See? It's a lot. It's pretty neat. I need to get better at this. Some of these fall off before I get to them. They look pretty good. Sometimes the flavour is a bit more watered down just after it's rained, and it's wet here this morning. That tastes pretty good. I love mulberries. Check my little meter. Oh gosh. It's like a mil or 2 mils. This is figgy. Looking beautiful. And we've got a sweet potato. This one is sweet potato purple. It's not any particular variety that it's really told me, I don't think. But I'm going to try and just keep it growing in this container here. I just got this start from Bunnings. I have heard that you can eat the leaves. I don't know if we will. I'll double check on that because you can't eat potato leaves. They're poisonous. But I do believe that sweet potato is not from the same family as potatoes. So that'll be pretty cool. They do the leaves spread and sprawl a lot, so I might get some stakes or something to help it sort of trellis so it doesn't just go all over the grass. And this is the wild tomato. See, it's a bit sick in there. This is the cutting from the Tommy Toe tomato. This is it. Not doing so great, but I'm letting it go wild because it's getting sick. I'm keeping away from the other tomatoes and just seeing how it goes. So I think because it's sick, it's not setting a whole lot, but there are some at the back there. And look, like this is just what tomato plants will do. They just will go keep reaching up to the light. And it has like several, like that's another leader stem. And this one's going off crazy. So yeah, we'll see how that one goes. There's my tomato beds. Look at them, they're looking really tall. And I've got corn growing here. This is blue jade corn. So it gets about 4 foot high. I don't really know if that's 4 feet, but it's not going to be as tall as other sweet corn. So that's really neat. This variety here, that's possibly a money maker that I got from a friend. That one is, I think, a triple crop. And that's a triple crop, and that's Dr. Witchy's, and that one is supposed to be Dr. Witchy's, except it the blossoms are really small, like more like a cherry, and the fruit doesn't look the same as the fruit that has set on my other Dr. Witchy's. So even though this came in a bag of Dr. Witchy seeds, I feel like maybe this is a cross. So I'm interested to see what that turns out to be like. And then the last 3 back here, they're all triple crop again, and just like look how many blossoms there are. I have, as I see it, I have picked off ones that look like they're ephaciated. This one got a little bit damaged from the trellis, so, and some of the blossoms are falling off, but like this is an ephaciated blossom. It's a little bit hard to show you in here, but see that green bit, it's like a line there. It should be more like a single point, because then that means it'll be like a single, that's a good example. In there's just like kind of like a circle, little green circle, and that will be a good tomato. This one is like fused. It's like 2 or 3 tomatoes fused together, so it'll be a really funky looking one. I'm gonna move it back. So it'll be like a really weird looking one. I'll show you some of the ones that are set on the other container plants. Down here I haven't planted anything. This is where peppers are supposed to go. My seed starts haven't done very well with peppers, so I might just buy some starts from the shop, like from Bunnings or from a nursery somewhere in town. Down the bottom here, all along this row, I've planted 3 different kinds of basil. Up that end one, that's sweet basil, and then should be purple basil, and then tulsi, which is another kind of basil, but you can also use it for like herbal tea. And so it goes like sweet purple tulsi, sweet purple tulsi, sweet, all the other way around. Yeah, no, I think that's right. And here are the potatoes. These look awesome. I planted these exactly a month ago. I planted them the 20th of August, and it's the 20th of September today. We'll see if I can get this video up the same day. And in here, things have started to pop up, so that's why I decided to do a tour, because there's actually things growing. So this is a row of zinnias along here, because I wanted to have edible things as well as things that are pretty. I found out last year everything was great and growing well, but it was all really green and I wanted some color in it. So I made sure that I put some flowers in as well. This is Zinnia Thumbelina Dwarf. So that's a mix I got from, I think, the Seed Collection. It's an Australian seed company. In here I planted more potatoes. Those ones I believe are Pontiac. These ones are King Edward. There's 9 that I planted in here because we may be moving in the near future, but I'm not sure when. So this is the King Edward potato, but I just planted 5 and kept some back in case we do move soon. And down here there's 3 bush cucumbers. They're just Lebanese. In there's a dill, and at the end here you can see some popping up. Oh, excellent. There was only 1 the other day. Now there's a bunch. So that's black Russian sunflower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can see 6 already. So these ones can get tall. I think they can get like 6 to 12 feet or something. So I've got them right at the end so they don't shade anything out. And the fence is there, so maybe they'll help it from the wind, because we do get a lot of wind, so I don't want them to fully get knocked over. So that's the beds down the back. Can't wait to see everything popping up. I do need to find some peppers to put along the bottom there. In the rest of the garden, this is another triple crop. Like, look at this. Like, that's crazy. So many. I'm excited. I'm super pleased with it. Some are starting to set. That one there. And there. You can see a lot of my tomatoes have this mold stuff on them. I think it might be powdery mildew. I think that was because I started them a lot earlier than you normally do. So I think they got a little bit cold and damp. I've been meaning to do like a milk spray, like 1 part milk to 8 parts water, like a 1:8 ratio, with milk being the lower ratio, to spray on here, because that can help with powdery mildew, because you can see it's already up spreading here. It doesn't seem to be bothering the plant too much at the moment, but I don't want it to get out of hand. And I've just been pruning the leaves off for airflow as it grows. This one is my favorite one. This is Dr. Witchy's. I accidentally topped it. See this bit here is where it should have kept growing. I didn't realize I did it. So I've left some leader stems grow out from the armpits, new ones like that one, and this one here, because they will grow out and become like this big one. So I'll just see how they go and train them up. But look, these ones, I've got fruit on them. So they look really cool. But you can see there is like a bit of powdery mildew on there. So this one is a good example of what happens if you let an ephaceated blossom, that one that has like more of the green little bits in the blossom. So if you let it grow, it'll still create tomato, but you see how it's all funky underneath? That's called cap facing. So it'll still grow a tomato, but you can possibly get spots of rot in there, just because there's little gaps and everything where moisture can get caught. So yeah, that's my favorite one though. This was the first one to set. I hope the rest of them are doing okay. I haven't really seen a whole lot more come on there. It has slowed down on setting fruit since I let the leader stems grow, because it's putting in energy to making a whole new leader stem. But that's why these tomatoes I think are so big, is because I topped it, and so it's putting all of its energy into the fruit. There's my garlic here. I think it still has another 3 months left to stay in these pots. I fertilized everything the other day. It was just like a seaweed solution with water. I still have these little carrots, and a bit wet. I watered and then we had a bit of rain, so struggling a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that's the Paris market carrot. They look pretty neat. So I'll come back and get that. In here we've got the strawberries, which I have noticed I'm getting aphids on them, and ants get to them and eat them before I can. So I don't think I can see, I can see some aphids on there, but they're really small for you guys to see. So there's none on that one, but where I've seen them is pretty much everywhere there's a seed, there would be an aphid or two munging on the same bit. This thing has really sprouted up now that we've had a bit more warm weather, and with a bit of rain. This is poppy. It's going to be Flanders poppy. That's the red one. And over here, this is Mandy. Doesn't she look different? Amazing. Oh my gosh, smells really good. Smell. If you've ever smelled like any of those citrus flowers smells, it's beautiful. I think that's why people like getting mock orange hedges, because they will have that similar sweet. It's not overpowering, like I couldn't smell it until I was right up in it, but it smells really good. We didn't have any mandarins produced from this tree last year, but it's still like a newish tree, so hopefully we might get some this time around. And in this bed we've had things pop up, like this little one here. This is a sunflower. All along this row here I planted sunflowers, so this one is a sunflower. Can you see how big that is? I think I possibly planted some of those big black Russian seeds in here as well, because when you plant things closer together they will tend to grow smaller because they don't have as much space. Because I realized when I planted the black Russian sunflower seeds over there, I didn't have as many as it said I should in the pack, and then I'm pretty sure me went crazy and was like, yeah, let's just sow some in here. So that's probably what that is. This one is I think it's a white squash. Yes, white squash. And this one, when it comes up, is supposed to be a green squash. So the same as like yellow squash that you get in the supermarkets. This will be a white one, and that one, when it comes up, it'll be a green one, which will be interesting because then I'm not sure how I know when to pick it, probably just by size. So down here as well, I've got some noodle beans. These ones like this. There's another one sort of just starting to pick up there. So these are Chinese red noodle beans, so they will grow up. And they're supposed to get long. I can't do it with my fingers. They're supposed to get like about 30 centimeters long, I think, is when's a good time to pick them, because they're nice and tender still. Good for eating. In here, I haven't seen anything come up yet, but there's supposed to be a golden midget watermelon here, which is a smaller size. It's not like a big watermelon, and so I can help it grow up a trellis. This is some spring onion left over from the fall garden. Now that it's had more space and more sunlight, it's actually growing a lot better. And in all this area, I also planted zinnias. And look, there's the first ones come up, just there. This was pastel, so it's a pastel colour mix. This one is a watermelon radish, but I've let it go to seed because I want to try and collect the seeds from that. I don't have any left, so that's why I've left this one here in the garden. All in here, these have only just come up as of yesterday, I think. So I've got a row of dragon's tongue beans and a row of contender beans, I think. Can you see? They're all like starting to pop up. I also left in some of my blue-curled Scotch kale. It's gotten a lot bigger now that it has access to more space and more sun, because this is where I had one of the massive broccoli plants. So it's looking really good. These ones not so, they're not as big because I just trimmed a whole bunch yesterday, and that's what I'm going to have for breakfast. And I put in some radishes just to get something out of the time that was left over. These are Scarlet Globe, I think, so I'll harvest them, and I do want to plant some more. Things are growing. Could be weeds. I want to plant some spinach in here, some perpetual spinach. But I think I already see down there, you probably can't see it, but I can see like little capsicum seeds sprouting. And these are zinnias. These are polar bear zinnias. I left a dead flower head of a polar bear zinnia, and these have come up from it. So I'm letting them grow because I'm going to have zinnias grown this bit, and this is from a self-seeding marigold. And I've just seen this as well, so I think that may also be a zinnia too. So this bit's going to be flowers right at the end. In this pot, there's just some spring onions that I popped in there. They were just from the store, and they were wilty inside, so I planted them out. This is the other milkmaid nasturtium, looking awesome. Look at the trail. I've held it up there. It doesn't have anything to like hold on to structures, but it will just grow and trail the vine. It's quite long here, which I may have to trim it a bit depending on the sun that's needed for here. This is getting quite covered up. All right. In here and in here, they're supposed to be zucchinis. They haven't popped up yet. I'll just keep waiting. Maybe they're too shaded, otherwise I'll sow some again because they are really good producers. I grew them last year. And in here there's some more zinnias. These ones are dwarf. Yeah, I think these are some more Thumbelina dwarf zinnias, so that's them popping up. And here are these are some of the same spring onions from the ones in the other container that we just got from the store. We have harvested off them and then I've just let them go to seed because I haven't seen it before and I didn't need to rip anything out just yet. This is a perpetual spinach. Oh no, which might be going to seed now. You see how the stem's growing taller? There's not staying all bunched down there. Oh, that's a bummer. We had perpetual spinach last summer and it did awesome. So I'm not sure why it's not working out for me this time, because I really like the taste of it. This is stevia and I'm noticing that it spreads out its roots a lot. It all comes from the main bit here and then sends off like little shoots because they keep popping up in other places. I'm going to leave it for now. And in here is, I've planted some cucumber seeds called homemade pickles. So they're supposed to be down here to grow up. And some more spring onions left over here. These ones are supposed to be red ones, I thought. Red Welsh, but they don't look red. Anyway, I left the pincushion plant over here. It's come back beautiful. It's like 4 times the size of when I first bought it earlier this year. And the flowers are so pretty and the bees really love it. Oh, look, this one's finished. So that's why I've got it in here specifically for the bees. And my little herb container is looking good. The chives are doing great. They're multiplying themselves. This is just some parsley. Oh gosh, sorry. This is just some parsley. One of them went to seed and so I cut it off. And there is still oregano underneath there. Oh, and I meant to show you my seeds. Kind of. My little rosemary. It got scale, so I just chopped the top off and repotted it. Repotted a bunch of stuff the other day. My little dianthus, doesn't it look pretty? And my cyclamen's flowering. Got this from a friend ages ago. It goes dormant you let it go dormant over summer and then it comes up again through winter. It's got these pretty flowers. I love these because that's the middle of the flower and then the petals grow up. It's cool. Here's the blue shelling snow pea, nearly all crispy and dead. But this one I'm going to save the seeds from. My fingers are wet, I don't want to wet it. But yeah, so they're starting to dry off and turn papery. Really sounds like a seed packet. You might not be able to hear it really. But yeah, they're drying out. So once they're all dry, I'm going to save the seeds from that. I have kept watering it so that it can send all of its nutrients to the seeds, little seed pods. So yeah, I didn't mean to do a tour today. I was just going to show you the potatoes, but that's what the garden looks like now in mid to late September. It's good to see some stuff starting to grow. And then I'll show you what it is in October.